Hello dear friends, today in this video we are going to discuss about integrated discussion of Parkinson's disease with anatomy to medicine and surgery part. In this video, me and my friend Isha will discuss the clinical case and anatomy to basic surgery discussion and some of the clinical features about the Parkinson's disease and how to solve particular clinical case based on this Parkinson for your next exam. So let's start the video. We have today clinical case, anatomy to basic surgery part will be discussed by the Isha, and end of the video I will solve the clinical case and I will tell you how to reach to the diagnosis for particular case. So let's start with the clinical case. Today we have 75-year-old patient who is presented with the some of the features and one pathology autopsy brain finding is given in this photo. Patient was presented with the bradykinesia, resting tremor, shuffling gait and stock posture. There was no medical history which was significant, and which is the best following pathology for this patient. We have 5 options for this patient: cortical atrophy associated with beta amyloid neurofibrillary tangles. B is the defective copper transport. C is the loss of alpha aminobutyric acid neurons. D is the loss of dopamine neurons. E is the malignant tumor cell which is derived from the malignant cell. What is your answer? Type in the comment box. End of the video I will be discussing what is the answer and how you can reach to the particular diagnosis for this case. So let's discuss the anatomy part for this case.
Coming to the anatomical basis of Parkinson's disease, as we all know, the predominant structure responsible for Parkinson's is basal ganglia and the pathway responsible is dopaminergic pathway. The structures which are present are striatum, which composed of caudate nucleus, and putamen; pallidum, which is composed of globus pallidus interna and externa. Further, we have thalamus, subthalamic nucleus and substantia nigra. Now, coming to the 3D structure of the brain, here we can find that there is dark pigmented line in substantia nigra in non-Parkinson's brain, which disappears in Parkinson's brain. Further, we can see there are mechanisms, there is complex mechanisms which can be direct pathway or indirect pathway, which includes motor cortex, striatum, globus pallidus, substantia nigra and thalamus. The mechanism being so complex, we have made it simpler for you people, that is, the motor impulses from the cerebral cortex which is received by pons to cerebellum and which causes positive impulses which are taken up by the cerebral cortex, and the negative impulses via basal ganglia, via thalamus and to the cerebral cortex, which causes degeneration of motor neurons and interneurons. Next, we have the pathophysiology of Parkinson's disease. In pathophysiology, you can see there is destruction of dopaminergic neuronal cells in substantia nigra in basal ganglia, which causes depletion of dopamine stores, causing degeneration of dopaminergic nigrostriatal pathway, and which causes imbalance of excitatory neurotransmitters, that is acetylcholine, and inhibitory neurotransmitters, which is dopamine in the corpus striatum. Impairment, which further causes impairment of extrapyramidal tracts controlling complex body movements, resulting in tremors, rigidity and bradykinesia. Further, we can see there are 2 neuropathological findings in Parkinson's disease, that is, the first one which is loss of pigmented dopaminergic neurons, and second one which is the presence of Lewy body and Lewy neuritis. Next we can see the symptoms of Parkinson's disease, which are stopped posture, masked face, slightly flexed hip and knees, shuffling gait, forward tilted of trunk, hand tremors and tremors in the legs. The further we have the stages. The stages can be preclinical stage, prodromal Parkinson's stage, and the third one is the clinical Parkinson's. The clinical Parkinson's symptoms is defined by dopamine responsive motor features, that is bradykinesia, tremors and rigidity. The further diagnosis will be taken up by my friend Vidit.
Okay, so as you have understand the basic anatomy, physiology, motor movements and the pathophysiology of Parkinson's disease. So let's discuss the therapeutic and pharmacology discussion about this Parkinson's disease, how we can treat the Parkinson patient for the treatment and drugs. So as you know, the dopamine is the main consist features and precursor for the dopamine in the Parkinson disease. Destruction of substantia nigra fiber causes the Parkinson features, tremor, rigidity and akinesia. So we have to give the dopamine drug to the patient so patient can have normal movements. When we give the dopamine normally, dopamine can break down in the peripheral circulation. So we gave to the lipid L-dopa like levodopa, which crosses the blood-brain barrier easily, and at site of the brain dopamine is produced by dopamine decarboxylase. But there is one problem, because L-dopa is given into systemic circulation, so it metabolized by dopamine decarboxylase in the systemic. So we have to inhibit dopa decarboxylase by carbidopa, so we can get the maximum concentration of dopamine in the brain and patient can have improvement of symptom. So dopamine go to the brain and act in the dopamine receptor and patient have normal movements. So as you know that this is the main mechanism for the patient, and as I told you, the carbidopa used as a dopamine decarboxylase. So we use the L-dopa with carbidopa combination for this patient generally. But we have also one catechol-amine methyltransferase, which is also break down L-dopa in peripheral circulation. So we have entacapone and tolcapone for this patient. So we can reduce the metabolism of the dopamine in peripheral circulation and we can get maximum concentration in basal ganglia. We have also MAO-B inhibitors, which is also metabolize dopamine in dopamine phenylacetic acid. So we can inhibit by this selagelin and rasagelin. And we have last drug for this patient like pramipexole and ropinirole, and we have dopamine receptor stimulate bromocriptine and permoglide, which is also useful when we have to stimulate dopamine receptor. So dopamine taken by the dopamine receptor and patient can have improvement of the symptom. So we have discussed the broad idea about the therapeutic and treatment of the Parkinson disease. One of the dopamine receptor stimulation, MAO-B inhibitors, COMT inhibitors, and dopamine decarboxylation inhibitors. So hope you understand this concept. So let's move on to the correct answer for the clinical case. As I have shown you in this photo of the clinical case, there is the one arrow which is showing the Lewy body for this autopsy brain finding in this patient. So brain finding Lewy body alpha-synuclein deposit in this patient, pathognomically suggestive of Parkinson disease. So as the discussion is taken, there's the Lewy body in this patient is seen, an alpha-synuclein deposit seen in the Parkinson patient. So correct answer for this case is the D option, which is loss of dopaminergic neuron in this patient. And in the autopsy slide, we was finding a Lewy body, which is this alpha-synuclein deposit. And alpha-synuclein deposit is found in the Parkinson disease and Lewy body dementia. So this way, integration of the anatomy basic, like you understand the anatomy, pathophysiology of movements, how pharmacology and patient can improve the symptoms by drug. So we reach to the particular diagnosis for this case, and this is the symptom to perfect integration of anatomy to medical science with medical and super specialty subject. So hope you have understand this idea about the Parkinson disease and its integrated discussion of this topic. If you have any questions, type in the comment box. We will try to answer as soon as possible. Thank you so much guys. Keep learning and keep watching.